Ecp Reviews.
So yeah, Summerslam, aka Hot WrestleMania, aka McIntyre's Revenge, aka Roman's Return. I mean, overall, I was thoroughly sports entertained. I mean, I don't know about you guys. This show has definitely pushed a lot of storylines forward, as it should have. I feel like all shows should do that, but I mean, all shows are not created equal. This definitely gave us a payoff to a lot of things that we thought and kind of expected were going to happen, but seeing them all play out live in front like that was very good. I was thoroughly sports entertained. We had the drama. Ooh, the drama! Dominic and Liv making out right in front of Rhea, right after screwing her over. Real good to me. The storyline. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming, but again, predictability in wrestling is sometimes, profitability. You know what I mean? People want to see what happens. You swerve them every now and again, but you got to give the fans, you got to give the people what they want. I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't like Rhea popping in her shoulder and all of that into the table and into the turnbuckle. I get it. Liv and them, they have a, legitimate injury history between them two, and I get why Liv would kayfabe targeted within the match. The whole thing about Rhea coming back is her being 100% to me. So, the shoulder issues. But again, an injury that serious could have lingering effects in the future. So I can see why they would target it, and use it to play out, the match. But I don't know, Dom, man. You got to tell me what you're doing with these ladies, man. How the hell you getting both of them and then dropping one for the other one? But yeah, I enjoyed it. I felt like this furthered the storyline. And now that the Judgment Day is essentially no more, hopefully we're looking forward to maybe a mixed tag down the line. Priest, Rhea, and Dom, Liv. I'd watch it. Your boy, Brian Breaker, takes the IC title off of Sammy. Again, we kind of saw this coming. But to see it happen in a relatively short match, I mean, I know they kind of pressed for time, but you guys got 4 hours. I just didn't think the match would be as short as it was. But as I said, great run by Sammy. But again, all good things got to come to an end. Kind of got stale with the belt towards the latter half. And once he beat Braun the first time, I said, oh, yeah. If you didn't do it this time, they got to pull the trigger at SummerSlam, a big event. It's Pops in the building, great city of Cleveland, packed house, packed fans. I mean, yeah, this was the time to pull the trigger. So congrats to Braun. And congrats to LA Knight as well, taking the U.S. title out of Logan Paul. We kind of saw that coming, but again, this is something that was a long time coming. I feel like they should have belted LA Knight a long time ago. And this is coming from somebody who isn't exactly a fan of him. I've never been a big fan of him. I'm a Stone Cold fan, so when I see somebody kind of doing what Stone Cold did, kind of emulating that a little bit, it's more of a salute. But in my opinion, I just feel like he could be a little bit more original with how his delivery and all of that is. I never been really high on his ring work. It's kind of punch kicky if you ask me. But again, he deserves it. I mean, the crowd's behind him. He's red hot. We all know Logan can go, but apparently he's got like lawsuit issues. So, and I mean, granted, even without that, I feel like he was probably going to drop the belt to LA Knight at some point anyway, or anybody on the roster actually, you know what I mean? But he can really go, man. They did a lot of high flying stuff. LA Knight jumping to the tie rope a few times, he impressed me, man. He really did. This was something that you can go back and watch again and again. Like I said, despite how you feel about the YouTuber, man, he can really fucking go in the ring. So salute to them on having a great match, a great outing at SummerSlam. And also another title change. It seemed like this was just the PPV for PLE for titles changing hands. You know, like I said, advancing those storylines for the near future. But congrats to Nia Jax. It seems like all the Samoans are getting their just due right now, man. If you ain't Samoan, good luck getting on TV, dude. Like, especially on SmackDown, dude. If you ain't Samoan or got some bloodline in your family or some Islander in your family, good luck, man. Come up with a new gimmick or something. Go to TNA. You ain't getting no airtime if you ain't Samoan these days. We got a surprise from Tiffany Stratton to come down there and kind of distract the ref, but I thought she was actually going to cash in, you know what I mean, and make this a triple threat and take the championship herself. What better show to belt her than to do it at SummerSlam and have Nia take the pin? Nobody would be upset about it. It would also be for her and Bayley and her and Nia, but I see that they're trying to establish the friendship between her and Nia and then the betrayal. 2 annihilators from Nia off the top, Brett's rope, and that ends it for Bayley's reign. Great reign by Bayley, but it was time for a change. Now we can get into the friendship / betrayal of Nia and Stratton. And now we get to the meat and potatoes of this damn show. Now we get to the co-main event / actual flipping main event of the night. This, in my opinion, was the main event. There is no question about it. This is what you bought a ticket for. This is what you bought the PLE for. This is what you bootlegged it for. This is what you called off work, all of that for. McIntyre and Punk, 1v1. Especially after the Royal Rumble fiasco, we understand CM Punk's made a glass. Honestly, I was just hoping that Punk got through this damn match in one piece, no matter what happened. Now, as you guys all know and have seen my last video in the post, I wanted McIntyre to come into this match and kick CM Punk's head off. Granted, with the way the storyline was going, McIntyre never got his due. Punk always getting in the way. It was about time for Punk to get his flipping head Claymore'd off. And that's exactly what happened in this match. Rollins playing a key aspect of this entire match as the special guest referee. I loved it. The only thing I didn't love was Phil Brooks playing himself out the box. I mean, really, him playing mind games on himself, essentially, you know, turning on himself, shooting himself in the foot. If that's the only way, I don't know. I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted him to, I understand he got pinned, yada, yada, yada. I wanted him to actually lose and not necessarily look bad, but give his all and lose. Because it seemed like he was kind of toying with his own mind, playing with his own mind. Oh, McIntyre's against me. Now Rollins against me. You wearing my bracelet, motherfucker? Like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, he kind of played minds against his own self. I know he's supposed to be a strong character, but that kind of made him look weak in my eyes. Love the overall match, though. Love the fact that the special guest referee did what he did and gave them guys some leeway all the way outside, you know, doing their own thing, establishing and finishing, you know, what we wanted to see them do, taking it to each other. This match didn't start with no elbow collar, none of that bullshit. We went straight to the strike, straight to the punches. Motherfucker, you been talking shit about my wife. You been talking shit about my dog. McIntyre like, motherfucker, you didn't cost me championships. You didn't cost me money in front of my own family. This was essential grudge match, essential. I see exactly what they wanted to do and establish, and they did it, and I loved every single second of it. We got our World's Championship match with Priest and Gunther, and, I mean, let's be honest, another title change that we kind of all saw coming. Only thing about this was, I kind of did, but not necessarily. I didn't think it was going to play out the way it played. Okay, so Finn essentially puts Gunther's leg on the ropes at the South of Heaven from Priest and essentially screws over and effectively ends the Judgment Day all in one swoop. And Finn's fucking face sitting there looking like the damn hobgoblin from Ireland, you know what I mean, staring at Priest. And so Priest looks up at the board and sees the replay of what just happened, and it essentially ends the Judgment Day, or at least the iteration of the Judgment Day that we knew. At some point, this had to end, though. I would like to see heel Finn Balor. Priest has already proved that he can be somewhat of a good babyface, but this now pushes their storyline that much further. And this goes to what I was saying about not necessarily ending storylines, but this just kind of not being a transitional show either, because it was a fucking great show, but more so about pushing that shit to the next level. And last but certainly not least, what I like to call Roman's return, Roman's revenge, whatever you want to call it. It went down in SummerSlam. So Roman returns and interrupts a Bloodline Rules match, which, if you didn't know, Bloodline Rules just means that at the end, somebody from their bloodline has to interrupt and make this match way more than what it was. That's essentially what I get from Bloodlines Rules. This ain't Extreme Rules. This ain't, no. This is Bloodline Rules, meaning they're getting involved. So Jacob Fatu takes Cody, puts him on the announce table, comes out of nowhere because he has to interfere because it's Bloodline Rules, splashes him on the announce table. But when he splashes on the announce table, it looks like he, legitimately hurts his hurts his ankle as it comes down on the table. We would find out inevitably that it was kayfabe. He was kayfabing and working it, which is why I do my reviews a week later. But damn, did he sell it, man. He really had the entire internet on fire, which just goes to show you that kayfabe can still be utilized in a very good way. So he was actually down and sold the injury as to stay away from a confrontation with him and Roman. So now he can be off TV. We saw him wearing a walking boot, which was obviously a work. But, I mean, it keeps everything in line. You know what I mean? It's still real to me, damn it. So Roman's revenge, Roman comes out to essentially help Cody. You're like, holy shit. The crowd, the pop, all of that for the head of the table. I've never seen that many ones up before. People who didn't like him loved him now, because now the original tribal chief can come back and take down the Timu bloodline and Timu great value tribal chief that is Solo Sikoa. So Roman comes down, does his thing, I'm looking stoic, takes out Solo Sikoa, and him and Cody exchange looks as Cody finishes off Solo Sikoa for the 1, 2, 3. Now, how do I feel about this? I feel great about it. I mean, Roman was inevitably going to come back. The only bad part about this is he shouldn't be anywhere near the championship. If he's anywhere near the championship, we're doing it all a disservice, because that's just wash, rinse, repeat. We don't care about you, Cody. We going back to what we were doing for 4 flipping years or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, come on, don't do that. He can fight with his family. He can fight with his cousins, brothers, whatever. Maybe you bring, Jimmy back. Maybe Jimmy have a change of heart and does something, but don't have him go straight for the championship, in my opinion. Cody's still doing it. He's still red hot. The second that wanes, okay, fine, then pull the trigger, get your other guy back in there. But you got a guy, right? You got a dog holding the title. Don't just give it to the big dog. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's actually establish this here. Let him bloodline fight it out with his family. Let Cody go a different direction. They put that belt on Roman at any point in time in the near future, we're doing something wrong. But yeah, SummerSlam, like I said, great show. A lot of title changes. Who wouldn't love that? But yeah, hashtag keep the belt away from Roman for now.